You know what time it is. It's time to hunt some dimes. It's been a little while since I made a video, but basically about a week, so. But in the meantime, I did do a few little hunts, and my bank teller the one day actually gave me a roll of pennies. And they actually all ended up being these uncirculated pennies from the 60s and 70s. And half of the roll were in these rock dub pennies, so I ended up finding a DDO, which is basically double odd verse. It's pretty sweet because these are basically all uncirculated. I also did find two double dates. This one does still have luster, but it's more like oxidized from like tone, and there's a little bit of gunk on the back of this one, but this double date is actually in miraculous condition. And I did put another one in a flip because they're just so nice. It's nice seeing them like that, so I'm gonna go through one roll of dimes here live because I think there's a nickel dump, and I opened up a bunch of rolls this morning, well, half banker box, and all of them were nickels, and I ended up getting 6 cents in pennies. So I don't know what to expect to find, but there could be anything. So that's what it's basically looking like. Like, I don't see any edges that are calling out my name other than a whole roll of nickel dimes from the late 60s to basically 2000. So, and there's one American in here. So I'm going to start going through these and the see-through rolls that I have here, and I'll call you guys back in once I start finding some. I didn't realize this, but I think there's a silver dime in here, and I think it might actually be one, so I'm a little curious as to what it could be. So it's looking like one. It's going to be a 1961. Sweet. First silver dime of the week. And it looks like it got the spin of death. So at one point it must have been stuck in a machine. Sweet. That didn't even come from the ones with all the nickels in it, so this was a completely different bank. I hope there's something in those rolls other than just straight up nickels, so I'm going to go through the rest of these, and I'll call you guys back in if I happen to find something cool like that. Looks like the other bank's going to have a silver too, because that person might left a silver dime for me to find. So let's see what it is. I'm excited. I am excited. What is it? Oh. Yep, it's silver. What year is it going to be? 1968. So that's going to be 50%. So yeah, basically all these rolls are like straight up nickel. Seems like this person might have forgot maybe one or two in here. So I'm hoping maybe someday this person might mess up. And it's funny because this came from the same bank that had all those silver quarters, the large bust, those dimes. It's probably my favorite bank, so actually I'm going to count this. I even got an extra dime. That's a free silver dime right there. Sweet. I guess that's what you get when you throw pennies in there. You know, it's not cool when you throw pennies in there. I'll throw those on. I'll show those off at the very end. But yeah, I did get some pennies earlier on today. But now I'm at $3.90 in total so far, so I usually keep track of how much I usually find in a given. But I'll do one more roll here live. Maybe I can find something. Like, yeah, I think somebody messed up. Like, is there yeah, there is two papers. Look at this. See, somebody messed up. My guess is they had a machine. And they were counting them. Because the minute tubes, they actually come in a giant box, and I googled them. And they all basically come in like that. So, this one's going to be an extra paper. Yeah. Extra piece of paper. Let's see if there's anything in this one. That one? No, it's not. Getting a little bit too excited, but it could be a little overwhelming when you see this much nickel, considering it can throw off the edges. Like, yeah, that's a nickel 68. Like, there's a lot of nickel in here. I did find a 1970 earlier today. And yesterday I actually found my fourth 1970 nickel. Sometimes I do hunts off stream. So, I'm going to go through the rest of these, and I'll call you guys back in once I start finding more. Guys, I think I see another silver edge. It almost threw me off, but this one right here, I'm a little curious to see what it is this time. Looks like we're going to be getting silver number 3. So what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Oh, this one's a little nice. What? No way. Huh. It's a Roosevelt dime. D mint mark. 90% silver. It's going to be my first 62. Sweet. Oh my gosh. I've been complaining about not getting that much American. I'm like, I find so much American coins. I never find the silver ones. Like, this is very overwhelming. Like, to see what's in here. I'm going to have to go back to that bank tomorrow to get the rest of that. She's like, yeah, we got a whole bunch of dimes in. And I was like, thinking and contemplating to myself, I was like, how much money do I have on me? I was like, give me 100 in quarters and give me like 150 in dimes. And that's what she did. So, like, there's some nicer ones in here. They're like all scratched up, but that's crazy. I also happen to found this 1969 with hole in it. Could have been used as a necklace or something like that, but a lot of people don't know that sometimes these were put onto loops, and people would actually keep these as a form of, like, basically taking it off the loop and using it as change. You're not supposed to do that, but yeah. Sweet. Roosevelt dime. That's awesome. Third silver dime of the week. I have about 8 more rolls to go, so let's see what could be in these last 8 rolls. So, very excited. So I'm on to the final roll. This was a pretty good hunt, and so far I'm up change $1.50 along with these. Six pennies here that I happen to have found in the rolls. I know these are exactly the ones I ended up finding. So yeah, I ended up finding 6 pennies in these rolls. I'm a little curious to see what's in the final one. So, will there be silver in the final roll? By the looks of it, I don't see anything, but it can be a little overwhelming considering that there's a lot of nickel here, but it'll only take me a couple seconds to determine whether or not if there is or isn't. By the looks of it, that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna go through the rest of these, and I'll call you guys for the wrap up. So yeah, overall this was a pretty good hunt in my personal opinion. Found a 68 silver dime, a 61, a 62 Roosevelt silver dime, which is pretty sweet. I found about 70 cents in American, which is kind of funny because normally I find a lot more than that. I did happen to find a 1969 dime that has a hole in it, and in the final roll, I actually did get upchanged an extra 20 cents, so I was upchanged $1.70. So even with the pennies and getting shortchanged at first, I actually made my money back, so that's pretty sweet. These I did find off camera, but it seems like somebody wasn't paying attention to either the coin counting machine or they were just not paying attention in general and decided to ram a bunch of pennies into some rolls. And there's an 81, an 82, an 88, 2000, and 2002. So nothing too spectacular. But before we go, let's appreciate the fact that I found another silver Roosevelt dime. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this hunt and this little bit of interesting finds I have found today. So stay tuned for more videos down the road. You know the moral of the story. Happy hunting, guys.